never not written with an outline. It's just not in my blood. To me, the mere idea of writing without an outline is incomprehensible. Or at least was. Prior to 2019, I had always written with an outline, and like a detailed outline. I had an idea of every scene, every point of view, every character, every last thing, almost to the point where I could not write without an outline. I had to know where the story was headed, or else I had a sort of creative paralysis. Yep. However, as I began planning to do a 4-book rapid release for my Mesopotamian fantasy novella series, Queen of Urkala, okay, you're done, I guess. A rapid release is whenever you release books rapidly. Sometimes as little as 4 weeks between releasing those books. And so as I began to plan to do this, I realized that I was not going to have time to meticulously plot every last detail of these 4 books. Not if I wanted to get them done in time. It just wasn't possible. So I decided to give pantsing a go. Lest you think that I went around pulling down people's pants. There are 2 terms for writers on how you structure a story. There's a plotter and there's a pantser. Plotters are kind of like architects. They like to have blueprints ahead of time. They like to painstakingly detail every last decision. Pantsers just kind of go by the seat of their pants. And so I tried out the pantsing method. And it was a painful yet joyous process that honestly left me scratching my head half of the time. But I did learn a lot from it. And here is what I learned. Pressure can lead to increased creativity. I'm someone who sets very firm deadlines for myself. However, before, I had always benefited from the fact that I had a very strict outlining process, so I at least knew where the plot was going. But for these 4 books, I had a itty-bitty kernel of an idea, and that's about it. For the first few days, I honestly felt that I had made a mistake, and I felt like I was just banging my head against a wall. How was I gonna pull this off? One, writing 4 books in a year, all without an outline, which I'd never done before. And since I hadn't plotted it all the way through, since I didn't know how it was going to end, I didn't really know if this idea was going to be worth anything, if it was even going to be good. I did know one thing though, which was that I needed to start writing. For this to work, I needed to draft a novella about every 2 to 3 months. So without any idea where the story was headed, I just sat down and started to write. I forced myself to begin. Oftentimes, I literally did not even know what the next word was that I was going to write. Then something kind of remarkable happened. As if my brain was finally getting on track with the program, different ideas began to collide together in my brain. Different plot options, different avenues, different possibilities I had not even really thought of. In being pushed, my brain began to dig into a new level of creativity that I didn't even really know that I had. I also learned that yes, it is possible to recover from plot holes. One of the biggest reasons that I really love outlining is that it lets you avoid plot holes. Without outlining, you do not have that safety net. And you know what? Without outlining, I did encounter a lot of plot holes, and I recovered from all of them. Granted, this was partly afforded by the fact that I was drafting all 4 books in one go. So if I discovered a plot hole in book 3, left open by a mistake in book 1, I could then go back and fix the mistake. I'll be honest, I shudder at the thought of managing plot holes otherwise. People who don't have that advantage, I don't know how people without outlines do it. I also learned that not outlining allows for certain creative freedoms. While I've deviated from my own outlines in the past, I still more or less stuck to them. It's like I would trail away, but I would eventually bring it back somewhere in line with where it was supposed to be. Because in order for Z to happen, I needed Y and X first. I was closed off entirely to the possibility of straying away from that. Even if it meant that I discovered something potentially better, along the way. Since I wasn't beholden to an outline this time around, I could rapidly change direction. I ended up writing things that I had not even thought of. Character pivots, plot twists, things that shocked even me, which hopefully if it shocks me as the author, it'll definitely shock the reader. The biggest thing I learned throughout all of this, though, was that eventually you will overcome your creative paralysis. It's that feeling you get when you stare at a blank page and you're channeling every fiber of your being to will your fingers into typing something, but all that comes out is however you pronounce this. There were times I definitely wrote just that because I couldn't get anything else out of my fingers. While it of course didn't make it into the final version, it got me going. It started the ball rolling. I forced those painstaking words out letter by letter, no idea where I was headed, until it wasn't so painstaking anymore. If you push hard enough, you will move. It'll be uncomfortable. You won't like it, but you will move, and it will be worth it. In 2019, I wrote over 100,000 words this way. 100,000 words. To some, that might not seem like a lot, but for me, it was. And in the past, I was very bad about writing consistently every day. So that 100K in a year was huge for me. It was the most I had ever written in a single year. My experiment with no outline pushed me to improve, and it showed me what I was capable of. Every mistake is recoverable. Every creative wall is climbable. So just start writing. I do hope that you found this helpful. If so, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more content like this, please hit subscribe wherever they put the subscribe button nowadays. Also, if you would like to try a Mesopotamian fantasy novella for free, you can get mine in the description box down below. And until next time.